Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and soul with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
Biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation, it's the dream in the house. It is that time we like to call the biggest show in the world kicking off. It is Sunday. I'm here with Dr. Dan and my boy, the Mad Hatter. What's going on, y'all?
Guys, great day yesterday, huh? Damn. Dream.
Not bad. Yes, sir.
Not
I
bad
actually
at
got
all.
saved by the Celtics and the Diamondbacks in that over that didn't look like it was going to hit forever.
Oh, definitely.
And I am the biggest P word in the world, too, because I was preaching to everybody. I really wanted to take the Rockies yesterday.
You did.
And I just couldn't pull the trigger against Kershaw. And for the first time ever, he gave up back-to-back home runs.
Oh, really?
First time in his career. I couldn't believe it. That's pretty impressive. But, yeah. And the Rockies are on fire, and they beat the hell out of Kershaw for Kershaw, So 3 home runs, I think, off him in total.
In Coors Field. And you know what? In the
Yes, sir.
desert, too, the balls were flying out of there. And you know what? A lot of runs scored. So
Greinke didn't look so bad.
I know.
Huh?
I know. I think we talked about it yesterday, him getting acclimated with the ballpark. It may be
with
coming
ya.
to form here. So you know what? And then, other pitchers go in and try to pitch in that ballpark. It's going to be tough for him. So you know what? Good morning to everybody. We are the SBTV Nation. We are live right now on Twitter. And you know what? The NBA and the NHL dream were lights out yesterday.
Well, with the exception of the Chicago Bulls, everything else really worked fantastically. I had an incredible day yesterday. Probably one of my biggest days of this. Well, definitely the biggest day of this year, but one of the biggest days in recent future, where I just kind of let it all hang out. I went balls to the wall yesterday and kind of did my thing. We had great NBA work. So the Celtics worked. Handled their business. The Pacers handled their business. Milwaukee, I expected Milwaukee to be a little bit more impressive than that, but they still won and covered their spread. But I thought they were actually going to go ham because the Sixers were decimated with injuries.
Sure.
But they still covered their spread. They came out. Those 3 were great. And then over on the ice, man, just the 2. And I'll be honest with you, Toronto Islanders was not really a stomach ache, other than it was just empty. In the beginning, they scored beginning of the second, and then it was, kind of, downhill from there. But Toronto was a stomach ache at first, and I'm sitting out, and I'm having dinner. I'm on a date last night, right? And I'm having dinner, and I look at the score, and it's 2-2, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, look, I got that, and I tell the dinner, I'm like, look, I got to keep an eye on this, because I had, Toronto, and I had ran it, so Toronto and the Milwaukee Bucks were like a major proponent in 3 plays. So I needed those 3 teams to win, or else the day was going to be a disaster. So I had gotten the Bucks was fine. I gotten the Islanders were fine. So now I'm just waiting on Toronto, and it looked like Toronto wasn't going to happen. And I was ticked because I like Toronto, but you were always worried about Pittsburgh because they're defending champions.
Sure.
Crosby's been playing lights out. It's a tough team to beat. And right after that, 2, I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom.
And then you're hitting auto refresh and just trying to see what's going on as
I'm
the
like, I
clock
got to go to
ticks
the
down.
bathroom. I'm freaking hot. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. I knew better. I knew not to do this. And then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I come out of the bathroom, I sit down, I put my phone down, I said, I'm not going to look at it. I start talking, and then I go take another look. It's 3-3. I'm like, okay, I got the tie. The next thing I know, they got the lead, and they won. I was like, yes.
Oh,
and then the rest of
finally.
the night was over.
Oh, good for you. Definitely. And you know what? All the playoff teams that basically, outside of the Bulls, that needed to win, came out and handled their business, guys. And
Well,
the
what's
Go ahead.
very bizarre about that in the NBA, the Washington Wizards lost
Okay.
to a Miami Heat team that, oh man, that's kind of a bad loss for the Wizards, especially at home. Why I just don't trust that Wizards team, because that's a win that they should have had.
Yeah. Dan, did you you were watching baseball pretty much all day, but did you get a chance to take a glimpse at the NBA?
A little bit. You know, I was more looking at that Celtics team. That was the one NBA play that I rode. And, you know, looking good. Obviously, I am still looking forward to Toronto and Cleveland as soon as, like you said, I don't think they've still not released that line yet. But Boston covered those 2 points in Charlotte. Looked really good. 121 points, man.
I have no information whatsoever on those two games. Those two games have no line yet, guys. I think they're waiting to see who's suiting up for these games. But, I mean, the Toronto and the Knicks is in 2 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How do you not have a lineup yet?
Are they? I mean, what is the? I don't even know the NBA rule when you have to actually have it in.
Oh, I don't know if there is a rule with the point spread, Dan.
No. I mean, like,
oh, you know,
in
your
other leagues, there's like a certain
starting,
time you have to submit your starting lineup by.
Your starting roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it now. I'm just trying to see if there is starting lineups out there for the NBA.
Mean, you know, I guess you probably don't really, because it doesn't matter. Like, let's say, like, LeBron James could start and play a minute.
Right. Well, you know what? I got the starting lineups here. You know, obviously, you know, I mean, the New York Knicks put out nobody, guys. I mean, realistically, nobody. Ron Baker, Courtney Lee, Carmelo Anthony is the only one leading the charge here. Maurice Nador and
go for 75.
Hernan Gomez is out there. So, it looks like Toronto's putting out everybody. You got Carroll, DeRozan, Lowry, Ibaka, and Valanciunas out there. So, I don't know. I don't know why there's no line, but I know.
I mean, because here's the thing: the Raptors have not locked the 3 up yet, because the Wizards, right? I don't know. Like they still, I think they still have to play for the 3 or the 4 seed.
Got it. And as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers game, Kyrie Irving is a game time decision, so they haven't made a decision on him yet. And same thing with Tristan Thompson. So when you look at it, but then I mean, you look at the other side. You look at Atlanta. I mean, they got a lot of injuries here too. So I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out. But I mean, hopefully towards the tail end of the show, we'll get that information. Happy Palm Sunday to everybody out there that's celebrating that today. Dream, you've been awfully quiet over there. What are you doing, homework?
I'm not connected. Am I connected?
Yeah, you're connected.
Yeah, you're here.
'Cause it says that I'm not connected down on the bottom of my screen, so I didn't know if I was connected or not. No, I am not doing homework. No, he's right about the 3 spot as far as the Toronto and the Washington Wizards, which is very, very interesting. Like I said, that's why I said it was interesting that the Wizards lost yesterday, because
terrible for them.
They had an opportunity, you know, to maybe take Toronto if Toronto were to lose today.
Sure. Right on. So I'm looking at it here. I mean, it's the way it is.
The Celtics have 2 home games left. So, I mean, really, you know, Toronto is also still trying to get that 2 seed. I mean, it's not likely, but if they keep pace today,
right?
You know, so yeah, I don't know why that line. I mean, that's kind of crazy that line isn't out yet, though.
Well, they're 2 games out from. I mean, Boston Celtics would have to lose 2 games, and they have to win 2 games. And I don't even know who owns the tiebreaker. I don't know who has the tiebreaker.
Well, no, because if Boston loses one of the last 2,
well, they're not. I know they got Boston got Brooklyn on Monday. I know they're not losing to Brooklyn.
They're not going to pull at Chicago, and you know, instead of trying to tie the game up and taking it to overtime, try and play hero ball and take contested 3s at the end of the game. It's unreal.
The other thing about the Celtics, though, the Celtics do have the Bucks on Wednesday.
Yep. Are the Bucks playing for anything at that point?
Probably not be playing for anything at that point, though.
Because it looks like right now, I mean, they could be. I mean, the Bucks could realistically move up into the 5 seed over the Hawks, or they could drop as far. Honestly, they could drop to the 8.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know they own the tiebreaker over a couple of those teams that are listed below them, being the Pacers,
I think the
Bulls,
Bulls,
and Heat.
Heat, and Pacers, they own the tiebreakers, and then you have the Bulls and the Heat now tied
Exactly.
for that last seed.
Wow.
So that was like, I mean, that loss by the Bulls. That's, you know, I know we briefly touch on this, but like, did you guys see the end of that game at all?
Yeah, I did, and you're right. It's horrible, and they could have tied the game. It went for overtime. Butler tries to take the three, which is, I mean,
Terrible
I get it,
shot, and
but
he could have driven the lane.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, really? I mean, and I didn't even play that game. It's just watching the NBA is so frustrating sometimes because it's like he had a 50-50 shot of making the shot or getting fouled or getting an and one.
All right,
I mean,
guys.
no, the East.
We have the line. Cleveland Cavaliers -1.5 today at the Atlanta Hawks. And Toronto Raptors are giving 7.5 to the New York Knickerbockers. Just released. Hot off the press here. You know where I'm going.
The East and what they've done in this playoff thing, from the Cleveland Cavaliers all the way down to the Chicago Bulls, by the way, like it's been just a comedy of errors with these teams, losing games that they have no business losing, and winning like when you're like, okay, I think that they should win, and maybe they win, but then all of a sudden they. So it's just been very, very bizarre how this whole in-game thing is played out. Whereas.
Dream, you there?
You've got Milwaukee as a 4 and his low.
Well, he's cutting in and out a little bit, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dream, you there? All right, well, anyway, I just punched it in. Cleveland Cavaliers -1 for the game today.
Yes.
I'm on it.
I think you're spot on there.
Yeah, and you know what? You're not really giving any points here. And you know what? When I look at the Atlanta Hawks, I mean, they're pretty much banged up. So, I mean, obviously, you know, you got Hardaway and Howard and Millsap out there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, did the Cavs clinch the number 1 seed with a win today? Because
Yes,
I know they own the
yes,
tiebreaker.
they do.
over-
They clinched the number 1 seed with a victory today, Dan.
So yeah, I'm with you. -1 at a banged up Hawks team, even without Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's
you
the
still
same
got to
banged
do
up
it.
Hawks team that beat them Friday, though.
Well, it's even more the reason.
Exactly.
It's even more the reason to take them. To be honest
yeah,
with you.
all right.
All right. Well, whatever. Hand play. Hand
All
play.
right, go ahead.
All right. So I gotta. Hey, listen.
Yesterday. And by the way, slid you a nice 3-team parlay
Yes.
that I'm sure you probably didn't play. But
You know what? After I went to go put it in, it was already started.
see,
I was like,
Nice
But I ended up.
job.
I ended up getting a Clippers though money line. Remember
Well,
I told you about?
talked about the Clippers all day.
Yeah, remember I talked to you about, fade and pop? I said, get some clips. And sure enough, they got the job done. So, you know what? While we're on the subject of the NBA, let's just look at the rest of the card and see if there's anything else. Dream, are you kind of just going to chill after your big day yesterday, or are you going to dabble a little bit?
You know, I'm still on the fence with Cleveland. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, part of me, I agree with you. I think the concept's solid, but like I said, I've seen some things with this team that just have been problematic and bothersome. And my thing is, I don't, and Atlanta's going to be up to play this game. I don't care. You know, I know some of their guys are out, but they're going to be saying, "Hey, we just beat them Friday." At their house. So I don't know why we can't, play well at our own house today. So I don't love this game. I agree with you. The Cavs should take it and win. But then I look at the schedule. If the Cavs don't win today, they can win tomorrow against the Heat and lock it up.
Yeah. But still,
You know,
why though? That's almost like, it's almost like the tortoise and the hare situation. It's just like, you know what? Just get it done now. You know what I'm saying? Just get it done. Get it over with.
The question, if you're going to do why'd you lose Friday? Because you were home.
I agree. And the Hawks were banged up.
But you did.
And the Hawks were banged up in that game too. So I don't know. But
And that's why I'm saying that's why I'm slightly bothered with today. I don't love it. you. But I'm not going to go. I'm not going to probably go as crazy as you today.
That's fine. And you know what? That's all good. So it's unanimous that we're all on the Cavs today.
I think so.
All right. Sounds good. So looking at the rest of the landscape of the NBA, Dream, the Mavs are playing today for me.
No.
Tony Romo going to suit up today?
I can't believe it. One game that kind of sticks out to me, though, is a team that has absolutely nothing to play for. And they're given 9 on the road, which is the Houston Rockets at the Sacramento Kings. Neither one of these teams have anything to play for. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a heavy spread. I don't know who's going to be out there and how long they're going to be out there for the Houston Rockets. But
I don't think you mess with that garbage game at all.
any ideas,
Yeah,
Dream?
I hear what you're saying. I don't think it's as solid as Detroit was the other night. So no, I'm going to leave that one alone as well.
All right.
I think the Raptors is a good look. I always like betting against the Knicks because the Knicks stink.
Yep.
The Raptors is a good look if you. I mean, you don't need Cleveland's the best play today as far as I'm concerned in the NBA.
Sure. Right on. And looking at the OKC.
If the Raptors, if you remove the points, the Raptors would be a good look, but it's still a lot of points.
All right, I'm looking at another game here that's kind of got me scratching my head a little bit. The Nuggets are a 4.5-point favorite versus OKC. I don't know. I don't know if OKC should be that much of an underdog here. I think they're very comparable teams here. Under over of 229.5. Westbrook going for history. Not trying to drop from a 6 to... Where would they drop here? They would drop from a 6 to a 7.
They're pretty low.
Yeah.
Wait, you're talking about OKC?
Yeah, they're not. They would
they're
drop.
pretty much stuck where they're at.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Probably stay away from that one.
Yeah,
The
the
Cavs
only
is a big
reason
one.
I think that it's there is the Nuggets still have an outside shot with 3 games left.
They do. You're absolutely right. So you're probably
So
gonna
they're
get
playing
their
for
A
everything.
game.
Thunder, I mean, they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So I say we stay away from that, guys. To be honest
Thunder
with
don't care, but could get overtaken by the Grizzlies.
you. The Grizzlies. Imagine that.
I know.
Wow. All right. So that does it for that. Dream, any NHL before we move on to baseball?
I don't. Okay, so so now it's about seeding today. As far and I'm just not. Hat and I talked about it yesterday. We've done it in the NFL before. I'm not the biggest fan of gambling on seedings. And I know that some teams look solid and some teams are going to go in with momentum. And I was talking with Jim Rome as a douche a little bit about hockey because he's really vested into hockey and he loves it. But I do like the Edmonton Oilers today, but how motivated are they to play? No idea. I also like the Lightning against the Sabres. Both teams are out, so why would you bother there? It's just not enough for me to get involved with this, so I'm just going to leave the NHL alone today. I do slightly like the Edmonton Oilers, though, but that would be my only play in hockey, and I don't love it.
No hockey for Dan?
No.
All right, man. Well, so that means it's time to get into the MLBs, Dan, because you got a lot of them here. All right,
Tons,
so
the whole card.
all right.
By
so,
the way, we are doing the $10 10-person daily fantasy top 2 get paid. I'll put the link out on Twitter shortly.
all right. So where are you starting today, Dan?
Oh man, I mean, I have 2 plays today. That's all I'm rolling with. But I don't know if you want to get into some of the crazy stuff that happened yesterday at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just recap yesterday's whole situation. I know that you were spot on with the, with talking about a potential of fading Kershaw with all that juice in Coors Field, and then the D-backs are rocking.
I mean, the Diamondbacks actually saved us. I mean, look, the Red Sox, they had so many chances in that game, and they just could not get a hit with a runner in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
They had chance after chance, so that really kind of died out. The Cardinals look great, but then the Giants, go down, with Bumgarner on the mound, to friggin' San Diego, and their lineup. might have made a mistake. I don't know. I mean, I know, like I said, it's 6 games. You can't really judge it. But they just got destroyed by Jhoulys Chacin.
Nice.
And, put up 1 run in the 9th inning of that game.
Wow. So the Giants are 1-5.
1-5. I mean, absolutely terrible right now. And then, like you said, the Rockies in the West and the Diamondbacks are the 2 best teams right now after 6 games.
Right.
The Diamondbacks are 5-1 too.
Wow.
Juggernauts.
So
here's the thing. I didn't take it yesterday, but the first play of the day today is going to be the Colorado Rockies.
Okay. Wow, you got them winning again.
I think that they look pretty good. Dodgers have to face a lefty who's solid in Coors Field. I think Maeda gets exposed by this lineup today, and the Rockies are hot. And I'm not, me, I'm not big on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I'm not big on Maeda. I know some people really like him. I don't. I think he leaves a couple balls up today, and they get socked. If you want to look at the over in that game, maybe you look at that too. I think this is going to be a high-scoring Coors Field game.
Okay.
But no, I really like the Rockies today.
All right. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the American League East here, as the Baltimore Orioles are undefeated, Dan.
Oh, dude. Really good.
4-0, facing the New York Yankees, who are 1-4. But the Yankees, when they're in their only win, are putting that pitcher back on the mound, CC Sabathia.
Yeah. And, guts and guile for CC. Unbelievable to see him out there. It's like... I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he managed to get through that game, but he did. And the thing is the Orioles, forget the Yankees bullpen who has been exposed the last couple days.
Yeah.
Orioles might have the best bullpen in baseball.
Okay.
Probably the best. Britton might be the best closer in the game.
Wow.
I mean, he's almost untouchable. Okay. And I love the Orioles going into this year. I thought the Red Sox, early thoughts, the Orioles bullpen is so good that they might be able to overtake the Red Sox if that starting pitching holds up. I think the Orioles probably get a win here today. Again. I think they stay undefeated.
Wow.
I think they beat up CC today. I think this lineup's really good. They're going to get them.
So the only thing they would need to do to make them a really great contender would be to pick up some serious starting pitching come the trade deadline.
If they could get one pitch, again, if they go out, get Quintana from the White Sox, or that's going to be the big name, or you got to see who else maybe falls out of it that has maybe an ace, and it depends what they have to give back. But yeah, if they can pick up one piece of the puzzle and hang in there, I think that team could do really good things.
Dream, any thoughts on baseball?
No thoughts on baseball, player, but I am listening and paying a lot of attention. I see what's going on. I'll tell you, that Baltimore team, I like their bats.
And you know what? You did say that a great series play was them over the Yankees, Dream.
Yep.
And they already won 2 of them.
They already won 2 of them.
You're already in.
So, the other place we have to touch on too is Red Sox land.
Okay.
Because again, this is I can't bring myself to play it a third day in a row because I just feel like I'm chasing it. But in my heart of hearts, I'm looking at Porcello versus Norris, minus 115 on the Red Sox, plus 105 on the Tigers. The Red Sox are, I think that, you got to look at the lineup they're going to start today. If they start their, if everybody's back from the flu, you almost feel like you got to play them.
I got minus 124 here.
I have it minus 117.
So it's going down, the line movement, Dan. Better watch out.
A whole 7 points.
I did find it amusing yesterday that the Washington Nationals were down 12-0 in the second inning.
I am. 12. That was unbelievable. I was a day late on the Phils, but that's not even the most runs ever given up in the first inning. 15 is the record, but they battered them. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Was that in the first inning they did that?
Yeah, first inning.
Wow.
First inning, they put up a 12 spot.
Can
right
you
away.
imagine if
Game
you get
over.
to the game, if you're getting to the game late? You know, like a half hour late or something.
It's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go drink beer.
I know you
Like,
get
that's
in
what
the
you do.
stadium. You're expecting, maybe a 1-run game or something like that in the second inning. You look at the scoreboard; it's 12-0.
Well, that's another one that I had a hard time pulling the trigger on because the Nats always bite me. But like, you and I know that Guthrie stinks, and I cannot wait for him to have a start in Coors Field if he gets there.
Dude,
I mean, that was unbelievable. But hey, just want to throw this out there: the Red Sox have released their lineup already. It's not so hot. It is not so hot. So I would stay away from that game altogether. Very light hitting lineup. Every backup that you could possibly put in there, it looks like they're giving them Sunday off. I know it's like the first Sunday of the year, and they're like, take a day off, everybody.
wow, Dream, that's your
yeah.
kind of game, huh? 12 runs in the first inning.
Sure, no doubt. Now that would be an exciting game right there.
Right on. And whoever had the over in that game, you know what?
Just laugh.
Stellar play.
Oh yeah, but I gotta say though, for all these like blowout games we're seeing, there have been some real, the bullpen blowouts will give you heart attacks as a gambler.
Yeah.
But as a pure baseball fan, I mean, it's insane to watch, and it makes for really good games.
That's cool, man. Definitely. So whoever had the overs, I mean, you had it what in the first inning? Done. Like halfway through the first inning, you had it.
Yep. And then the only other thing that, hey, I know we briefly touched on it, but Greinke looking good, man.
I know.
I mean, everybody talks about that Indians lineup being so good.
Mm-hmm.
Greinke now 1-0 with a 2.31 ERA after 2 starts.
Yeah.
Gave up the 1 run in the 4th.
Yep.
And then the D-backs again, man. I think this is why I think they're legit. When you can just right after, 5th inning comes, they tie the game, and then immediately put up a 4 spot the next inning.
Yeah.
And then in the 8th inning, just a 6 spot.
That's great, man.
So
That's great.
and
yet,
D-backs are for real.
the beautiful thing I like about a total is that if you bet the over, once you get it, there's no way you could lose the bet at that point.
Yeah, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
There's just,
I'm not
you're
gonna-
one.
yeah.
You're just waiting for your money at that point. Versus you could be up 25 points in football. You could be up all kinds of 13 points with 3 minutes left and lose the game in basketball. But with an over total, once you get it, you're done. Then you
Yeah,
gotta
we
just-
didn't get it till the 8th inning though, so we were sweating that.
Oh,
over
and
the
that
whole
one.
time.
I'm talking about the 12-0 first inning.
Oh, the Phils. Oh, yeah. That's
That's
where
a
you're just
good
laughing.
one. But that is a good thing to even think about here. So, all right.
For sure.
Where else you at, Dan?
So, as I said, the only 2 plays I have locked in, and so I have that Rockies play. And then, again, I'm looking for overreactions, and I'm seeing one in Chicago with the White Sox. I know that Quintana got shelled in his first game, and, the Twins have looked great. And everybody's like, oh, the Twins are going to be... No, the Twins still suck, and the White Sox still suck. But Quintana's way better than he was in the first game. It's going to be much nicer out today. It's going to be some good weather. I think that he completely shuts down that lineup. That line has already jumped. I got that at like minus 116. It's now at minus 133. So if you like it, I'd jump on it quick. Because, my only rule is I don't touch something after minus 140.
Got it. I don't blame you. That's a lot. It's a lot to lay.
It's a lot. I mean, if I like it enough after minus 140, I'll pair it with something or
Yeah.
take the run line.
Understood. Take the run line. And you don't do the minus ones.
No, screw the minus one. That's like playing for a push. I mean, like I don't know, man. I know people like it. Hey, everybody do their own thing. I mean, there are people out there that love first fives and first inning no scores and stuff like that. I just like playing full games. I see baseball as like it's just got so many different pieces. I get the first 5 stuff sometimes, it's just not my style.
Got it. Well, you're just basically betting on starting pitching at that point.
I mean, yeah, in the first 5, realistically, yeah. But like that's the thing. I mean, baseball's one of those games. Like look at the Diamondbacks. Yeah, you're gonna take a first 5 maybe on one of those teams, and then you're sitting there sweating because it's like 1-1.
Yep.
And okay, you get a push.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, the other spot, you know, that I kind of like this afternoon, which I haven't decided if I'm going to lock it in yet, is I like the under in the Mariners Angels game. It's 8.5. And I think that Iwakuma and Shoemaker are kind of underrated. Yeah, I don't think they're great pitchers, but I don't love each lineup. And I think 8.5 is a pretty big number. I think they go under. And again, remember, I got to look back at the trend, but I think Sunday unders are pretty good, you know, throughout the year, because especially with like lineup resting and day games after night games, you can't pay a guy $100 million and expect him to play, you know, within 12 hours.
Yeah, right. Of course not. No, that makes a lot of sense. You know what? That makes a lot of sense, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I like looking at the, you know, and I don't do a lot of totals, and I do lean the Angels in that game. I think the Angels will get it, but that under looks pretty nice at 8.5. And again, the weather today, everything's looking either domed or sunny and bright, 60, 70 degrees.
All right, sounds good.
No worries there.
All right, and you got the D-backs are a 5-1 team, and they are heavily. They're a heavy underdog here versus Kluber.
I know. And you know I love fading the Klub.
Yep.
Man, plus 168. I almost feel like you got to do it. You know, Corbin's going for the D-backs. You know, and he, you know, his first start, I mean, he lost, but 4.5 ERA. Kluber didn't end up losing. He got a no decision, but still 7.5. I mean, he gave up a ton of runs. And you're in the desert, and the D-backs have looked really good. I mean, remember, Corey Kluber gave up 5 runs in 6 innings. Yep. I mean, in his first start. And everybody loves him. I know. Everybody says he's great. I think you have to almost ride the Diamondbacks here.
Plus
they do not deserve to be plus 165. This is another one where you're going to look at the lineup, and I haven't seen anything released just yet, but I think plus 165, take a shot.
Sure. All right, so moving on to just Sunday night baseball. I want to talk about just real quick the New York Metropolitans and Noah Syndergaard, because I haven't heard anything about it. So talk to me, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, he had the blister, big deal. Pushed him back one day. I actually like that because you like Giselman getting a start, but also the weather's going to be a little nicer tonight, a little warmer. You know, I like the Mets here today, but the bats make me a little nervous. They have just not done anything. You know, I'm not worried about it yet. I think they eventually pick it up. It's been cold and windy. And I mean, it was so windy the other day. There were a couple, what I thought were bombs off the bat. Like Stanton hit one and Cespedes hit one, and they literally just like died in the outfield. And anywhere else, any other day, those are out of the stadium. So that makes it a little hard to really judge. But I mean, you gotta like Syndergaard here. I mean, minus 170, so that juice is high. Maybe, you know, you look to pair that with something tomorrow. But again, I'm probably not going to take it. But I think the Mets probably got to win behind Syndergaard today. I mean, they just have to get, I think, even 2 runs probably wins the game today.
Got it.
Nice.
All right. So, guys, that's going to do it for baseball. And that should do it for everything, unless you got anything to add after listening to all that.
I do not.
Any no-score first innings?
No, not at all. Get involved in that yet. It's way too early for that. Let's see with let's figure out who's the good pitchers and who's the bad pitchers, and then we can get involved in that. So, yeah, way too early for that right now.
Yeah, got it. All right, so that's going to do it for us, guys. You know what? I got to get to church because it's Palm Sunday, and we got to take care of that. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on a holiday weekend. Next Sunday, just so you know, guys, it's Easter Sunday. We will not be on the air, but we'll be on Saturday. So, all right, Dream, what do you got to do to close out of here, brother?
Hey, I want to thank everybody that's out there retweeting the show. We got Benjamin Rowe, Jim Rome's a douche, Terrence MacFast, Eddie72, LA WizKid, Spot Bet, Mario Martinez, Vegas Girl 92661, It Be Easy, OJFB. Good to see you out there as well, brother. So many others have hit us up, throughout the day. I'm not familiar. I don't know. Does anybody know what it went down with the UFC yesterday? Because I did not.
Looking at
Rumble
it right now.
lost and retired.
Okay.
Rumble lost and retired. Got it. Okay. So, Dan, what do you got to do to close out of here, brother?
Yeah, so again, I'll be putting that daily fantasy out. Come jump in there for MLB. Don't go chasing Red Sox 3 days in a row. We're just going to roll with the White Sox and the Rockies money line. Best of luck to everybody. Happy holidays. We'll see you in a week.
All right. Sounds good, guys. And, hey, listen, go enjoy your day. I'm all over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do whatever you want, but that's me. That's my money, and I'm doing what I want with my money. So whatever. Tail fade, do whatever you got to do. I really don't care. But whatever you do, enjoy your day and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.
Peace.